Again. Video 5. I'm going to switch gears up. I did a lot of coding. It might not look like it, but I did. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to add and go through. So I don't know how many more videos this will take. Maybe a lot, maybe a few, depending on how long each of them are. The last time we stopped, I think we could type in a state, and we started handling calling an API route on the back to do some auto completing and get us suggestions for a state to use. And so what I did here was I added a bounding box. I went and found a bounding box for all of the US states, and when we submit those, it basically draws the bounding box, and I can either do filled, outline, both. Oh, I gotta delete them. Or we can do both, add them. Okay, so then as I add them, it'll just keep adding what they call layers in Mapbox. And that's one of the issues, is we can keep adding layers, but we have to be able to take them away as well. I think Wyoming's a perfect rectangle. Yeah, it is. When we zoom out, you can see we got our, this is actually 2 layers, a filled GeoJSON and a line. So there's 6 layers right now, the way I did it. So I can delete them all by just trashing them, and I'll show you how to handle all of those things. One thing I wanted to also show you is errors. So this is the Alaska bounding box, and we'll fix it eventually. But the reason it's doing this is because, so longitude goes from England right here, that's 0, to negative 180, and then it goes 180, positive goes the other way. So there's a couple of points in the Alaska bounding box that are on both sides, and so it just gets confused when with the logic I use. But we'll fix that as well. So this whole lesson is going to be getting suggestions for states or anything that you type in, and then adding layers to whatever map we have displayed, and then the ability to manipulate them, get rid of them, and similar to that, because everything I think I'm doing here will be enough for you guys to do your project, with the exception of maybe some file uploading, which I will talk about as well. I don't know that I'm not going to go do a whole nother route, but I'll just show you I have a bounding box route where in my data folder I have I found another repository that has a bunch of different state data files in it, and I'll push these up as well. But there's also geocoordinates of every state, and I think this is actually, oh, I can't find the bounding box one. You guys probably see it right now and I'm not seeing it. Let me go to my, yeah, that's my data folder. There we go. Here's a different one, bounding boxes. That's the one I used. So I used a CSV file to make it a little different. So inside my Flask backend, I have another helper function that just says load data, and I pull the extension off of that path, and if it's JSON, I handle it as a JSON file. If it's a CSV, I handle it as a CSV file. So that's kind of helpful. So we've got states and state bounding boxes in our backend for right now. So that's the summary of what we're going to do, and to do that we will edit not our API anymore, because I have the API done for now. I mean, if I need more backend data, of course I'll add routes, but for this little lesson I think we have enough. And then we might edit some styling, and for sure we will edit our index file, which I have an index to keep things separated. Alright, I'm going to cut this one off, and then I'll come back and start recreating the functionality that will add bounding boxes and layers, and then let us also take them away. Alright.